What's up, YouTube? Let's talk about something. The metaverse. I was getting ready to post this on Facebook because usually I only post stuff on my Facebook timeline when something really gets on my nerves and I just need to say something about it, and it's something relevant to, that I care about. So like metaverse stuff, right? It's like a buzzword now, and I don't really care about anything currently in the metaverse. Like it doesn't matter. Right here I have PlayStation Home up on the screen, and this is my old YouTube channel from like 10 years ago, literally from like 10 years ago, where I just posted stuff about PlayStation Home all the time. I had a lot of videos up, and that was like my first successful YouTube channel. That YouTube channel still currently has more subscribers than I have now. You guys can fix that by hitting the subscribe button at the bottom of this video. But what I wanted to talk about was like this is what the metaverse should be, right? This is what at least I would want. That when I hear metaverse, this is what I think about, right? So let's say, for instance, I was the person running PlayStation Home and PlayStation Home never went away, right? This is going to be like a metaverse / PlayStation Home rant video, because there's a lot of stuff that I always wanted to talk about this stuff. So anyway, PlayStation Home, I felt like should have never went away. PlayStation Home had great ideas for what I would hope that the metaverse would be at some point. So we have in VR right now the Steam VR world, the Steam VR space, where you first log in and you're in a room, or depending on what room you set, you're in a room. And mine was like, I set it up kind of like a bedroom with a desk, and it has a couch or whatever. I tried to make my living room, but it didn't work out that way. But whatever. I have a screen on the wall. You can walk outside, and then there's a gigantic movie screen size thing where I could literally sit down and have a movie playing on a giant screen on a balcony and just sit there and watch it. Like, I've done it before, just to say I've done it before. So we have that, but you can't really leave that space and go walking around the city or anything and, talk to people. In PlayStation Home, you could do that. You had a space in PlayStation where you log into PlayStation Home, you would start in your home space, and you could put furniture and stuff in there. You could change your home space. You could buy other home spaces to, change the atmosphere. I had maybe 2 or 3 different ones that I really liked. The other thing that I forgot to talk about real quick is the way you used to log in to PlayStation Home should have been different, or at least there should have been an option. So the option that I feel like would have made PlayStation Home much better is to default log you into PlayStation Home when you boot up your PlayStation. The reason why I say that is because if you were to log into your home space upon booting up your PlayStation, more people would have cared about that home space. More people would have probably spent more money on different home spaces to customize their experience, gone out and looked for things to put in their home to make it more their own or whatever. And when you invite people into a party to play game, that would be PS4, because they didn't have parties back in PS3, but if it was on PS4, you'd be able to invite your friends to a party, and then they would show up in your house, and then you could start games from there. So if you could start games from your home space, you would just log in, you boot up your PlayStation, you go into PlayStation Home, and then from there you could start games. You could do that already on PS3, because they used to give you like arcade cabinets. So like for Tekken 3, or Tekken 5, I think it was Tekken 5. For Tekken 5, they gave you an arcade cabinet item that you could put in your home space. And if your character walked up to the arcade machine, you could activate the arcade machine and it would start Tekken as long as the disc was in your system. So this was before like downloadable games, I'm pretty sure. it was like either before downloadable games or like right after downloadable games. I don't think games were like downloadable on PS3 at launch. I don't remember that. Hold on. Okay, so I looked it up just now, and so the PS3 came out November of 2006. PS3 titles weren't downloadable until 2007, late 2007. So there were no downloadable PS3 games for an entire year after, you know, like the PS3 came out. So there was a point in time. Was it not? It was not Tekken 5 then. It must have been Tekken 6. Yeah, it had to be Tekken 6. Tekken 5 was a PS2 game. Tekken 6. So for Tekken 6, you got an arcade cabinet. But yeah, so you had to have the disc in the system. If they would have been giving away like free items along with the games that you would download, like, and you would have them as downloadable content on your system already, like if I had a digital copy of Tekken 6, like that would have been sick. Like it would have been amazing. Like it would have been like, okay, I could go to PlayStation Home, I can walk up to the arcade cabinet, hit launch game, and it would launch the game. And then when I close the game and I close out of the game, it would take me back to my home space instead of taking me back to the cross media bar, which could have been an option for people that didn't want it. You could opt out of the cross media. You could opt out of logging into PlayStation Home or logging out of that being your default menu screen. Like PlayStation Home being your menu screen would have been so much cooler than just the cross media bar. The cross media bar could have been the other option that you use when you didn't want to walk around to certain stuff or walk around to things. They did that in PlayStation Home. If you didn't want to walk out of your house, out of your apartment space, or walk to the stores or anything like that, you could literally just go into a cross media bar within PlayStation Home, which they had their own version of the cross media bar, which you could scroll through and you could, you know, go to the different stores, or you could just use the store from where you were, so you didn't have to load into another space to use the store. But yeah, like there was so many things they could have done with PlayStation Home. I don't really know all the history behind why they shut it down, or if they weren't making enough money or anything like that. But I feel like if they would have made better decisions, PlayStation Home could have been out of beta and been a staple for PlayStation going forward. But they screwed that up. So anyway, back to me. You could go outside. There's a pool area overlooking like the ocean. It was amazing. Like if that was in VR, it would blow me away. Like it would be great. Imagine PlayStation Home, but able to access it in VR. And PlayStation has VR now. PlayStation has VR. They could have had PlayStation Home VR. And then if you didn't have VR, you'd still be able to log into PlayStation Home and interact with the same people. Like it would have been so cool. But PlayStation Home doesn't exist anymore. There is like a revival thing that they're doing that where they emulated PlayStation Home. I haven't really looked at that because there's no point in me really looking for that and then trying to go back and post more videos about PlayStation Home revival, blah 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 blah. It's not the same thing. But PlayStation Home was an amazing version of the metaverse for its time. It was on the PlayStation Network. It came with every single system. It was on there. So like when you turn on your PlayStation, the PlayStation Home thing was there on PS3, and you could just go log into it, set up your thing, change your avatar, what it looks like, and then like you get shirts, you can get paint, you can get clothes and stuff, you can get different themed things, you can go play other games where it was like you were playing games in PlayStation Home with your character, with your avatar. So if they had that and it was VR, that would be amazing. But what we really need is decentralized version of PlayStation Home where everybody could go in and do what they wanted to do. So like where businesses would be able to go into the metaverse and have a plot that they have where they can put a store and you can go to that store in VR and then, like, you know, go up to the counter, you know, or scroll through, you know, things, buy items from there, take them back and put them in your home space or whatever. Take them, go to the clothes store and get clothes for your avatar at the clothes. Like, you can walk down the street and go there. Like, you could just, you know, teleport there with a menu or whatever. If you bring up a menu, you swipe over and you teleport straight to the thing, just like they had in PlayStation Home. But like, that was PlayStation Home. PlayStation Home is the metaverse that we should have. Like, the metaverse right now that I'm hearing about is stuff like just connected apps. That's the metaverse, connected apps. So where it's like, all right, well, you know, something that I have on one application, now I have it on another application. So because Facebook owns WhatsApp and Instagram, you know, I have my account that I log into on Facebook, and then wherever I log in with Facebook, that's part of that connected universe. But that's not what we necessarily, I mean, I guess that's where it starts, but that's not what I care about. I need an upgraded version of PlayStation Home where I can go into and explore stuff and walk around in town and see other people and just be in there, just log in, go to my friend's house, like go to my friend's apartment building in VR and just knock on his door, and because I can see that he's online, and if he's at his house, there's like an online thing you can like knock on the door, and then he can invite you and go into the house. You could invite people to parties, they could sit down, you could have Netflix nights, or you could have, like, you pull up your Netflix, and because it's your Netflix and you pay for it and you're watching it in your house, it's just like inviting someone over to your house to watch your Netflix account, like, or whatever other streaming service you have. Like, that would be so cool. But, you know, I guess they're not talking about the same type of metaverse, but that's the metaverse that I'm looking for. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. All right, peace. See you guys in another video.